Eldlich is one of the most popular decks on the Master Duel rated ladder, and for good reason. It's cheap to pick up, easy to play, and has a lot of space for defensive cards and floodgates. Because of that, it can be extremely frustrating to play against in a best of one setting. In today's video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about the Eldlich strategy and how to best prepare yourself for when you inevitably have to play against this deck on the ladder. First, let's talk about the Eldlich engine. Ultimately, this is how the deck wins. Eldlich the Golden Lord is an extremely sticky monster and is the heart and soul of the strategy. He's searchable off of Cursed Eldland, summonable off of Scarlet Sanguine, and the Golden Land trap cards don't gain their additional effects without him on the field. He has two powerful effects, one from the hand and one from the grave. He can discard himself and another spell trap to target a card on the field and send it to the graveyard. Then, once it's in the grave, it can send a spell trap from the field to the grave to add itself to hand, and then summon a zombie monster from the hand. That monster gains 1000 attack and defense, and can't be destroyed by card effects until the end of the opponent's turn. While most of the time it's summoning itself, it's worth noting you can summon any zombie, like Ash Blossom, instead. Additionally, the summon is optional, so if you were to chain Maxi to its grave effect, they can choose not to summon it, and then you're down a card. They can also send their own floodgates to the graveyard for his effect. For example, if they have summon limit, they can send it to the graveyard, add Lord to hand, and summon the Lord, even if they've already summoned twice that turn. Once he's on field, his base stats are 25-28, and when he's summoned off his own effect, he goes up to 35-38, and you can't destroy him with card effects. With that in mind, you'll need either a really big monster or some sort of non-destructive removal to clear him. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for him to lose his protection first. Some really good cards for this purpose are Paleozoic Dynamiscus, Karma Cut, and Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon's Prison is especially powerful because you can clear both a Lord on field and a Lord in grave. Most lists only run 2, so if you can banish both, their traps essentially don't do anything anymore. And even if they don't have a Lord on field to banish, the Golden Land traps are treated as zombies on field, so you can banish a Lord and a trap. For the spell traps, Cursed Eldland is at 2 in Master Duel. It's a continuous spell that has a once per turn effect where you can pay 800 life points and then either add a Golden Lord or a Golden Land spell trap from deck to hand. Additionally, while it's on field, your opponent can only attack with zombies. While this doesn't come up very frequently, if they're running a Zodiac variant, it's important to know because they can't attack you directly with Borbo. Then, if Cursed Eldland is sent to the graveyard, you can send either a Golden Land spell trap or a Golden Lord to the graveyard. A common play you'll see, especially when the deck is going second, is they'll add a Golden Lord with Cursed Eldland, use its hand effect to send one of your cards to the graveyard, and then use Lord's Grave effect to send the Eldland to the graveyard, and then summon the Golden Lord and send a Golden Land spell trap to the graveyard. There are 4 Golden Lands total: Conquistador, Hakero, Guardian, and Golden Land Forever. The first 3 are all continuous traps that share a grave effect, where during the end phase, you can banish it and then set an Eldlich spell trap from deck. Then while on field, they can all summon themselves as a normal light zombie level 5 monster, and they all gain a unique additional effect if Golden Lord is on the field. Conquistador destroys the face-up card on the field, Hakero banishes a card from either graveyard, and Guardian makes the attack if a face-up monster becomes 0, and none of these effects target. Golden Land Forever is unique in that it doesn't summon itself as a monster and it doesn't have a grave effect, but it's a counter trap that can negate any card by sending a zombie monster to the graveyard. Being normal monsters, you can convert any of the Golden Land traps into a Link Spider or an Imduk just to get them in grave. And being level 5 light monsters, you can make 2 of them into Constellar Pleiades, among other rank 5s. It's worth noting that you can only use the summon effect or the grave effect in a turn. You can't use both. Being continuous traps, they are required to be on field to resolve. If you have chainable removals such as Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclone, you can chain to the Golden Land's activation, remove it from the field, and make it resolve without effect. Cosmic Cyclone is specifically good at doing this because it also banishes the card, so it will never get its grave effect. Additionally, they have to control Golden Lord to gain the additional effects. We discussed cards like Karma Cut and Dynamiscus earlier, but there's even more ways, such as chaining Book of Moon to turn Lord face down, or taking it with something like a Widow Anchor. Lastly, there's 3 Eldlichs, which are settable off the Golden Lands. There's Scarlet Sanguine, White Destiny, and Black Awakening. Each of them summons Lord from 2 different places. Sanguine from deck or grave, White Destiny from hand or grave, and Black Awakening from deck or hand. And Black Awakening can only summon it in defense, where the other 2 can summon it in attack or defense. Additionally, if Golden Lord's already on field, all of the Eldlichs can summon any zombie instead. While it doesn't come up very frequently unless you're playing against a zombie variant, it's worth noting they can summon Ash Blossom or Ghost Spell, which are both tuners, which summon Halqifibrax, which summons Valor, which summons Selene, which summons Access Code. And Access Code plus a Lord from Grave is 8,800 damage. The Eldlichs also have grave effects, where they can banish themselves to set a Golden Land trap from the deck. These can be used during the main phase, where the Golden Lands have to wait until the end phase. Sanguine can be used at any point, however, because it's a trap card, and can even be used during the opponent's turn. Scarlet Sanguine is by far the most powerful, and is always run at 3, where the other ones are likely one-ofs if they're run at all. Because it summons from deck, it can be ashed. And not only can it be ashed, it can be belled, because it has the potential to summon from grave, even if a Lord isn't currently in the graveyard. Now that we've gone over the Eldlich engine and how it works, here's some other cards worth considering. We've already went over Twin Twister, Cosmic Cyclone, Dynamiscus, Karma Cut, Ice Dragon's Prison, Ash Blossom, and Ghost Spell, but some other considerations are DD Crow, Skullmeister, Called by the Grave, Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched, Harpy's Feather Duster, Dino Rustler Pankratops, and even links like Nightmare Phoenix and Unicorn to help you clear the back row. It's important to recognize your own deck's strengths and weaknesses versus the Eldlich deck, and deck build accordingly. If you lose to the Floodgates, perhaps Twin Twister or Lightning Storm is a better option than Cosmic Cyclone because it clears more cards. And then it's important to remember your own deck's in-engine ways to interact with their cards. Perhaps the Shadal deck doesn't need to run DD Crow when they have Aerial, or Striker doesn't need to run Cosmic Cyclone when they have Afterburner and Jamming Waves. I hope this helped, and if I missed anything, or you have anything to add about the Eldlich deck, please put it in the comments below. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions, and let me know which deck I should cover next. Thank you, and goodbye.